Hi everyone, Todd Langwell here, but as always, you can call me Spud. Listen, I know I told you all that we'd be discussing my latest haircut, and I know some of you will be sorely disappointed when I tell you that recent events have forced a change in our plant lineup. What I'd like to talk about today is another subject I promised we'd get to, the charade of two-party politics and the rise of corporate-controlled totalitarianism in America. Now, many of you are very upset by the recent passage of the so-called health care reform bill. Like many of the ominous and unpopular congressional acts in our history, it was performed under the cover of midnight on a Sunday night, while most of you were in your beds preparing for yet another work week. After all, it's only March, and the vast majority of you will not have reached your tax freedom date until early May. For those of you who don't know, the tax freedom date is the day of the year that, if your taxes were collected up front, you would begin to start keeping some of your pay for yourself. So you had to get up early and do your patriotic duty to feed the massive life-stealing beast that is the federal government, and you weren't able to watch the 111th Congress declare itself your lord and master. Yes, Congress passed what the corporate-controlled media has hailed as a historic measure against the clear will of the American people. Conservatives, libertarians, and constitutionalists were obviously against this bill, but so were true socialists like Michael Moore and many of the historically leftist labor unions. And why? Because this bill is not socialist, it is corporatist. One only need look at the response of healthcare and pharmaceutical stocks to see who is the clear winner here. I, for one, would love to sell a product that every American was forced to purchase. And who better to enforce the sale of that product than the Internal Revenue Service? Believe me, you don't want to screw with these guys. They'll utterly lay waste to your miserable, insignificant life without trial or any of the legal restrictions that limit the power of most other agencies. But I'm not actually here to talk about the health care bill. I'm here today to talk about you. Specifically, how you have thrown away your right to hold your government accountable for its actions and have become willing sheep to be sheared by the corporate interests that own the pharmaceutical companies, the insurance companies, the media, and your congressmen. Now, I hear many of you out there shouting, well, we'll just throw the bums out. Yeah, good luck with that. Have you people never heard of good cop, bad cop? As long as you keep accepting only the candidates that the corporate media sets up for you, you will never escape this little farcical play. Let me give you an example. Now, how many of you voted for President Obama, in part or in whole, because he said he would end the war in Iraq? Now, allow me to quote Mr. Obama. He said, quite passionately, I might add, I will promise you this. If we have not gotten our troops out by the time I am president, it is the first thing I will do. I will get our troops home. We will bring an end to this war. You can take that to the bank. What was Mr. Obama's actual first act as commander-in-chief? Anybody? Well, it wasn't recalling our valiant men and women of the armed forces. It was ordering the bombing of women and children in Pakistan. And who is holding him accountable for this? Not you? Not the Congress of the United States? And where the hell are all you people that were out there protesting the war every weekend during the last administration? Where did you all go? I haven't heard a peep out of you miserable hypocrites. Has killing people in the interests of drug lords, arm manufacturers, and petroleum dollars suddenly become acceptable now that it's your guy who's doing it? You make me sick. For you, you have all the government you deserve. But for you men and women of principle, whatever your views may be, I say this. You deserve better. You deserve honest representation. I can neither convince you nor adequately persuade you in this limited format, but I urge you to closely examine the influence and control of corporate interests that have come to dominate your representation in Washington. Now, I know you mindless ideologues will disregard what I have to say, but you people in the middle, the hard-working men and women that are this country, you need to wake up. You have slept too long while the fruits of your labor have been stolen by dishonest cowards who only pander to your beliefs with words and then act only in the interests of those who can help them retain their grip on power. For it is not in the quips and speeches of your representatives that their motivations may be discerned. Rather, it is in their actions and in the fruits of their labor. You have heard it said, a poisonous tree will not render good fruit. Ladies and gentlemen, your trees have been poisoned. I'm Spud. On behalf of the Spud blog, I thank you for joining us. If you find this video valuable, I humbly ask that you share it and rate it on YouTube. Thank you.